He's a big play guy. He's done it with everything on the line. I mean, he's done it in, championship games, things like that. There are not a lot of people in the league like that. I mean, that have that on their resume where you made the play. When it was all on the line, you made the play. So
I've been getting an education a little bit on how Howie Roseman sets up his drafts. And let's bring in my friend Gary Cobb from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. And, Gary, we've been going over some of the positions, and we've been talking about some of the needs on the football team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it out of the quarterback position here for a second and take that conversation and shelf it a little bit here.
Okay.
What is the number one position you're thinking that this team desperately needs right out of the gate where they have to land and hit on?
Outside pass rusher.
Edge
rusher. That's what they need. I mean, you look at what they've had. I mean, Brandon Graham, he's near the end. Derek Barnett, you're bringing him back, but clearly he hasn't been the answer. And you look at the good teams in the league, some people have great pass rushers inside, but they're not as frequent. You don't see that as frequently as you do the outside pass rusher. I mean, good teams have outside pass rushers. It's that simple. You don't have outside pass rusher. And, Josh Sweat has come on a bit, but, you can't say he's a marquee pass rusher. But you got to have somebody in the double digits. Come on. Somebody got to be in the double digits. As much as teams throw the ball, you got to have somebody getting to the passer. And if you don't, clearly that puts you in a bind. I mean, because a pass rusher makes your defensive backfield better immediately. At least somebody they're worried about. And you really don't see that on the Eagles. You don't have that marquee pass rusher. Even Brandon is his strength has been his ability to play both the run and the pass. He hasn't been putting up double digits, but he's been a good pass rusher. But you haven't had guys in the double digits. Come on, 10 sacks. That's where when you start talking about you got legitimate pass rushers. There are other teams that got 2 guys in double digits. So that's the thing. You don't have that outside pass rusher. And that's where, quarterbacks can get comfortable. Mentally, they feel comfortable when you don't have the marquee pass rusher. If you got a pass rusher on one side, believe me, that quarterback knows where that guy's lining up every play. And if he doesn't see him, he's in his mind, he's feeling pressure. Even if the guy's not getting to him, because they have that respect. They know the guy's got the numbers. Eagles, they haven't had that. They know how important it is. So they're looking for that guy.
How about Hassan Reddick and his addition to the team? And Gary, to your point, with the addition of Hassan Reddick, if you're looking for double-digit sacks, isn't it imperative that they really try to make a push at Honey Badger and Tyrann Mathieu? Because everyone knows, as good as your pass rush is, how many coverage sacks that you get when you have good people in the secondary. There's obviously going to be a need at free or strong safety and maybe another corner in the upcoming draft.
Yeah.
What kind of impact would Honey Badger have on a defense if they were able to land him?
Well, the big thing about Honey Badger is he's the guy that makes the big play. Honey Badger is the turnover guy. And that wins games for you.
He's a tone setter.
Come on. Yeah, he definitely is. And he makes big plays. He's going to cause turnovers. And he's going to get turnovers. Plus, he's the guy that makes the play when the game's on the line. He is that type of guy. And he just has a feel for the game where he can anticipate what the other team is doing. And you put him in position. You go ahead. You feel you got confidence in him. So you send him when a lot's on the line. You know he's going to have a good feel for when to come off the corner or something. But he's a big play guy. He's done it with everything on the line. I mean, he's done it in, championship games, things like that. There are not a lot of people in the league like that. I mean, that have that on their resume where you made the play. When it was all on the line, you made the play. So he's that type of guy. And I think that he's great for your young players to have a guy like that because he's there all the time. They know, hey, this guy has done what I want to do. So they're going to listen to him. Because when he puts his resume out there, right away they go, hey, Honey Badger has done it. Honey Badger has been where I want to go. So the rest of the defense is going to follow him when you got a guy comes in with that type of resume. So, and he's got a great feel for the game, and he's a guy who makes plays when it's on the line. So you can't say enough about that. Normally, you don't get shots at guys like that.
How about this too, Gary? Let's go over to Devontae Smith. Do you think the Eagles will ever get the maximum potential out of him in this current offensive system with this quarterback? I mean, there are so many expectations, and we see, like I pointed out last week to you, Jalen Waddle gets 104 receptions. Hell, you got Hunter Renfrow sitting out there in Las Vegas. I mean, Hunter Renfrow was a middle-round draft choice, and he's a 100-catch guy. Will the Eagles ever get the maximum potential with what they're doing now, with who they're doing it with?
Well, they got to step up who they got out there. I mean, they definitely have to improve what they have talent-wise at the wide receiver position. This is a throwing league now. You know, people that are in the playoffs, people that are in the Super Bowl can throw the football. They throw the football. They can make a living of throwing football. They're going to make big plays. You don't see that with the Eagles. You just don't see the weapons. You know, if you sending a guy out there comes in with these weapons, and that's with all due respect. You know, you got a tight end, you know, but you look at your receivers, you're not really going to get that excited about them. So that puts a lot of pressure on Devontae Smith, the young receiver. And, you know, he's not the kind of guy that comes in with the size and the speed where he just frightens you. He's a great route runner. So you need other players with him, especially he's young. You know, you really, really would have hoped that they would have gone out and they've strengthened that position. Hopefully they're still going to try to do something, but they definitely I thought they were going to strengthen that position because they know how important it is. But we'll see. We'll see what they're doing because I think when he signed that extension, I think it definitely, you see what he did, how he kind of move them into the next year when it comes to chasing that marquee quarterback if they need to. Howie now is a patient guy because he had 3 years on his contract. So I think for that reason, you know, you see that they might not do a whole lot this year. I don't know. You know what, Gary? I've heard people start to compare Howie Roseman to Danny Ainge. And here's where the comparison is. Yeah. Danny Ainge for the last 10 years has been collecting first-round draft choices and second-round draft choices for the Celtics. I mean, these guys got multiple first-round picks for until the year 2700. I mean, it's just they've got so many draft choices. But yet, I mean, and by the way, they're playing great hoop. They may end up actually winning the Eastern Conference this year. Yeah, do it. I don't know. I'm just saying. This is what's the point of having all these draft choices here if we're not seeing the production on the field when it comes to winning Super Bowls? And here's a stat for you. Yeah. According to Pro Football Focus, not this last 2021 draft, but prior to that, the Philadelphia Eagles are the worst drafting team in the National Football League. Woo! So with all of these draft choices, wow, that's things. Oh, they're man, 32nd according to Pro Football Focus. I posted it on my Twitter page. Wow. I mean, he's being compared to Ainge now. I mean, what's the point of having all these picks if you're not landing on them? That's clearly a major problem. I mean, it's like you get the ball, you're not scoring any points. I mean, you know, you could be driving. For that matter, you could be getting yardage, but you're not putting points on the board. You know, they go by points. You know, they don't go by how many yards you had. They go by points. They don't go really, it doesn't matter how many draft picks you had. What do you have to show for it? Show me some players. Jalen Reagor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Come on. Those are two, a first and a second, both ways. Do you agree, Gary, that Derek Barnett, Reagor, and Whiteside should not have a roster spot on the Eagles? Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I mean, I could see where, you know, now I will say with Barnett, he plays hard. Just the dumb mistakes. And he's just not getting to the – he doesn't get to the quarterback, man. He just – you know, if he gets there, he's a step late. You know, he's just not a guy you really get excited about because you think a quarterback's worried about him the night before the game? Got 2 sacks? He doesn't even know his name. You know, I mean, come on. You know, you want some people, and you know, Hassan Reddick gives them a guy. He's had a number of years where he had double sacks. Double-digit sacks. The thing about it is he's going to get more attention on this team because who else do you got worried about?
He's actually had a better career, in my opinion, percentage-wise than what Jadeveon Clowney has had. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney has never had a double-digit sack season in his entire professional career.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And
he's had some good people he's played with.
He played for years with J.J. Watt on the other side. So, I mean, how are you not getting double-digit sacks here? Yeah. Barrett Brooks brought this up, and you tell me if you believe that this could be something that Howie would be looking at. His contention is he believes that Dillard could warrant a first-rounder, and he also looks at Gardner Minshew as potential trade bait as we get closer to the April 28th draft to try to get more draft choices or maybe a player. Gary, do you see Howie doing something like that? Because there's no question Gardner Minshew does not want to be on the Eagle team because he still thinks he's a starter. Remember, he went into Howie's office last year and said, how can I become a starter? And Nick Sirianni and them said, you have no chance of being a starter here in Philadelphia. Well, why would you want to sit there if you're going to not be used and you're making more money than Jalen Hurts? You're making 2.5. So to me, a lot of things line up for them being able to use. The Colts wanted him for a third rounder. The Eagles balked. They didn't want to do it. Do you see that where maybe Howie packages some of these guys up?
I could see him doing something with that, you know, because really what it says is he did a good job with that move to get him. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically gave him to him. So now people see the value in him. So you got to give Howie credit. He did a good job there. So I could see him getting something for that. You know, now he may be interested in maybe waiting and doing it. I don't know if he's going to do it right now, but he could do something and throw him in something and do it right at the draft. I mean, you know, people value quarterbacks. I mean, you got to have, you know, that marquee quarterback, and to have him as a backup with the team, let's say like the Colts or somebody who's trying to win, they think they're going to win it this year. You got a veteran backup quarterback like him. That's insurance.
Gary.
Yeah.
Hey, Xander, can you please bring up the picture of the brand new wide receiver that the Philadelphia Eagles have signed?
You're talking about the Olympic kid.
Oh, hold on. Wait, no. I want to get your first. I'm not going to load. I'm not going to load the question here.
Okay.
But I don't know if you've seen a picture of him. First and foremost, here he is right here. Hoss, I thought it was the FedEx guy or Pizza Hut guy.
I know.
In.
I'm telling you, I thought it was you have a bowl of Kellogg's cornflakes or something to eat. I mean, come on, man. You know that's you know that's like, you know, when you throw the coin in the fountain, you know, and wish something. You know, that's one of those. You know what I mean? You got to throw the coin in the water. You throw the coin in the water and you close your eyes and wish. That's what Howie's doing on that one. Come on.
Come on, man. You're bringing – hey, Gary, but all the inexperience that they have in that huddle outside of the O-line, every player that's a receiver and every player that's a quarterback outside of the backup, obviously, the guys that they're toting out there in September, there's like no experience.
I know.
Zero.
You know, it's you know, we saw this last year. I mean, their running game got them to the playoffs. You know, their running game was carrying them. But, you know, really just the running game, though, you're not going to the big show with just a running game.
Hey, Gary, that's Oklahoma versus USC back in the day.
That's what that is. You know, that's 1970s football, man. Come on. You can't win like that now. You know, you got to have those wideouts, man. You got 3 of them on the field all the time. You got to have people that scare people, you know, that are playmakers. And right now, they have not done what I expected them to do this offseason to really shore that up. And if you're Jalen Hurts, I don't see how you can be excited about that.
Well, here, I have something for you in closing. The big boss told me this. Hey, Gary Cobb wants to come up to Ocean's Casino for the draft night. We'll get him a room. Come up there, man. Have some grub with us. If you want to come up, Gary, I'm going to be in town. Okay, for 2 days. You want to come up, man? They'll get you a room. They'll hook you up. You've been so kind to us, man. And I know you're very busy, but if you can, we'll hook you up.
I may do that. I may do that. I may take you up on that.
Hey, Seth Joyner's going to be there. A whole bunch of us are going to be up there.
Okay.
So we'll all sit there and have a few ones out there in Ocean's Casino. What do you think?
I think we can do that. You know what I mean? It's not that far. Hey, and then you know what else? On the way down, you know, my son, him and his wife, they got a little guy, 6 months.
Oh,
hey, Gary Cobb III.
Gary Cobb III.
That's right. So I got an excuse to go see my man.
Let me tell you guys, the Cobb family. Hey, women, if you ever want any fertilization,
that's right.
I'm gonna tell you this. They got basketball players.
Yeah.
They got football players. They got superstars in that family. This guy's my idol, okay? He's my idol, man. G. Cobb. Holy cow, man. That kid is probably going to be playing third base for the Phillies in about 25 years.
Hey, we already got him working on his footwork.
Dude, man. Gary, we love you, man. Hey, man, I hope you do. I hope you come up, man. We got a room for you and everything, all right?
Hey, we can do that.
You got it. Gary Cobb,
right.
Fox 29, former Philadelphia Eagle. Please hit the like button. Hope all of you fly up there and come up there, whatever you have to do. Have a pop with Big Sills there, too. So, yeah, Big Joe went, hey, Cobb's been so great. Why don't you sit there and throw him a perk there? And I said, absolutely, Gary Cobb. And by the way, NFL guy, he ain't turning down perks. You give me a free pencil. Hey, Sileo, you're getting free pencils. When Xander was going to send me shirts, I'm like, how many? Dude, I showed you my box of clothing. That's what I wear. Cleveland Browns, Buccaneers, and Kane stuff. All right, we'll reset. Please hit the like button. Keep it right here on the National Football.